Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Varudhini Kankipati, a counselling psychologist. So this is something that I have been noticing when a group of friends, and mostly girlfriends, let's say more than 2 or 3, are all struggling and going through a difficult phase. What normally happens is each one has either boyfriend issues or academically they're finding that they're not doing very well or they're going through a low phase. What happens is when all of you girls are sitting and talking to each other, you start having these long conversations about what all is going wrong in each one's lives. So you have long conversations about what is going wrong in your lives. And so that 2-3 hours that you're spending in bonding is all about hearing each other, what's going wrong, whose boyfriend did what, and you start to feel extremely low. So even though you're there to bond and feel better by sharing, sometimes what happens is we get consumed with each other's problems and we create this type of bonding where it's only about what is going wrong. When that happens, one tends to feel more and more gloomy and you feel even more depressed. This is something that we noticed, or I have noticed, in more or less when you're in a hostel situation, you're in a residential hall where you're with other roommates. If one is not feeling very well or one is going through a mild form of depression or even moderate form of depression, and the others are also slowly feeling that way, when you're feeling low, lack of motivation, you just feel like life's so hard and you feel like, okay, someone else is feeling the same way, so you start to bond with the other person, and then that bond reaches out to certain other people, and before you know it, you have a group of people who are all feeling pretty low in life and lacking motivation. If you have noticed that you are in that form of a group and all you're doing with your female friends is sitting and talking about what is going wrong, then stop, because there is healthier ways of doing that. Step number 1, please try and reserve your talking about what is going wrong or what you're feeling down about to around 10 minutes each. And each of you can share what you feel like for 10 minutes. Another tip is when you're with your friends, make sure you understand what your emotional bandwidth is for listening and taking information and support for others. If you realize that you really aren't doing that well, then you're probably not going to have too much of a bandwidth to be able to listen to 2-3 other people talking about what is going wrong. So it is good for you to understand, oh, okay, I just don't know if I'm having the energy to be able to be support for others today. Just say that and say, hey guys, I'm going through a lot myself, each of you are going through. How about we kind of be mindful of how much time we're going to spend in being that support for each other, so that we know that we're not depleted of our own energy. And after that, move the conversation to things that you feel are good about your life, things that you all have to help support and see as positive things that are going on in your life. Make sure that you form that group to study together, push each other to do better. And if you realize that one of your friends isn't really doing well, make sure that if all of you are noticing that you're not able to be more support, or she needs added support, make her to go and get some professional help. Help her to set up that appointment with the therapist and maybe help her to go seek that first, just to be supportive, go take her physically to the session, or if not, online. So once you are able to understand how to navigate that emotion and move from a negative space to a positive space, then the group dynamic of what is going on is much more healthier for you. So if you want to go back, think about it and say, okay, with my girlfriends, when we are together, are we spending majority of our time talking about what is going wrong and feeling how bad our life is? And if we are doing that, then we need to change that. Group bonding and your girlfriend is a great support system make it work for you. So make sure you limit the amount of time that you spend talking to the person. Make sure you add activities to it. So for example, it's not always about just sitting in a room and talking about what is going on. Go for a walk, or do a hike, or do some activity to help bring experiences for all of you that is uplifting, and it changes the energy of just being negative or creating this vacuum where each one's feeding off of the low energy of the other. So please try and introspect a little bit, and if this is the case, try and do some of these things. If you have done different things to help with your friends to break out of that energy loop, then please do leave a comment, and I would love to hear from you guys. So if you did like what I had to share, please do like, share, and subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye.